We are gathered here today to lay to rest one of the most beloved, one of the most rage-filled, one of the most loyalist Astartes that ever served the Imperium. We are here to say our farewells to Gabriel Seth, Chapter Master of the Flesh Tearers. Okay, that may be a bit dramatic from me, but I do want to talk about the potential disappearance of Gabriel Seth and other characters which also have a big presence in the lore and on the tabletop. I've been wanting to make this video now for the past couple of weeks, ever since the Blood Angel Codex dropped and we got confirmation that Gabriel Seth was no longer a part of it. So let's jump in and let's get waffling. Now, for those of you who have no idea what I'm going on about, I'm just going to try and bring you up to date on the situation. So, over the past couple of weeks, we had the release of the Blood Angel Codex. Inside that codex is where you find the rules for characters and data sheets and stuff like that. And Gabriel Seth was normally a part of the Blood Angel Codex. But this time, Gabriel Seth is no longer a part of it. And a lot of people, myself included, are now concerned for the future of Gabriel Seth, one of the most well-known characters when it comes to Astartes, one of the most fan-favorite characters when it comes to the Astartes. He hails from the chapter of the Flesh Tearers. They were a second founding chapter of the Blood Angels. I would argue that they're probably one of the most favored successor chapters of the Blood Angels, if not the most favored successor chapter of the Blood Angels. So to have this character, who is the chapter master of that successor chapter, just instantly get removed from the Blood Angel Codex, there's a lot of concern now about his future. Now, there's a couple of conversations to have, like, what is the future of Gabriel Seth and other characters which are basically in the same bowl as Gabriel Seth. Are they on the chopping block? Are we going to lose these renowned characters? Are they just going to slowly fade away in the lore? A lot of people argued that because Gabriel Seth wasn't a fan of the Primaris Marines, the devastation of Baalbuk, he basically turned to Dante and said, these Primaris Marines, they're not really sons of Sanguinius, they're literally just different coloured Ultramarines, which at the time was kind of truthful. That's what they seem like. But since then, we've learned that these Primaris Blood Angels, or whatever they go to, successors of the Blood Angels, can fall to the Black Rage, can succumb to the Red First, etc., etc. So technically, they are still sons of Sanguinius. I would argue that I personally think that they have something bigger planned for Gabriel Seth, and we may see him in his own book, maybe like a big narrative book in the future, which is all about the Flesh Tearers and Gabriel Seth, and he may be getting a new model a part of that. Why do I say that? Is because one of the lead lore writers now, I actually think he is the top, he's at the top of the pyramid, is a chap called Wade, and Wade is a massive fan of the Flesh Tearers. He's made this known. He actually paints Flesh Tearers. He's got an army of Space Marine Flesh Tearers. So it'd be like me being promoted to the head at GW, like narrative and story and stuff, being promoted there, and then getting rid of like Lysander or, you know, Helbrecht for the Black Templars. You just wouldn't have that if you're a fan of this chapter. I could be completely wrong. Maybe that is what the plan is, but I personally think that Gabriel Seth is going to get something bigger, better, a cool new model. I'm not saying that model is going to be a Primaris Marine. Maybe he's still going to stay as a Firstborn Marine, but he's just going to get something way more cooler. As I mentioned, what this does is open up a bigger discussion about other characters. If you look at the Space Marine range at the moment, it's no argument that the Space Marines have been getting a lot of love in terms of characters. Like, we've had the Blood Angel refresh, the Dark Angel refresh, and the Black Templar refresh. Back in 8th edition, we got a bunch of characters like Tor Garadon, Kasaro Khan and stuff like that. Other characters, the Raven Guard chapter master, his name escapes me, because probably I just don't care. Sorry, Raven Guard players, you deserve this. But it brings up a conversation about other characters. If you look at some of these secondary characters, and for example, I'm going to use the Imperial Fist gene lineage because that is my jam. If you look at people like Lysander, Lysander is a renowned character. Technically, he should be the chapter master of the Imperial Fist at this point, even though he doesn't want that mantle, but Games Workshop should definitely shoehorn him into that, because he is the literal hero, the badass of the Imperial Fist. If you look at other characters like Pedro Cantor, Alessio Cotias and stuff, these are the characters that we all grew up with, the stories and everything like that, and it feels like Games Workshop have put them on the bit of the back burner at the moment, and people are rightfully worried these characters slowly got to be faded out and replaced by characters that they just don't know or don't care for. One of the biggest connections that a lot of people have to the hobby is the lore, is the stories. That's what we all grew up with, right? That's what got us attached to our armies. Again, going back to the Imperial Fist side, when I read about Lysander, when I read about Pedro Cantor, Alessio Cotias, brother, my army's over there, what you on about? These are the things that I absolutely love. These are the things that got me attached to these chapters, and rightfully so. These are the things that got you attached to chapters like the Flesh Tearers. So when we don't see these type of characters getting love, there is a concern there that grows in the back of our mind. I would argue at this point that maybe Games Workshop are just fleshing out some of the main chapters, like the Blood Angels, Dark Angels, Black Templars, soon to be Space Wolves as well, apparently, this edition, and maybe next edition, 11th edition, that is when we'll start to see some love of maybe some of the secondary characters, like Lysander, Pedro Cantor, and all the other ones that you want to associate with. Like, you've got like some of the big Forge World characters that just disappeared, like the chapter master of the Space Sharks. He used to be an awesome badass model, and he just disappeared overnight. You had like Red Scorpion characters and stuff that just disappeared overnight. That's what Forge World used to be for. It used to bring these secondary characters mainly to life, and now it's more like a specialist game studio. So this is why people are growing a bit concerned about their favorite characters, and rightfully so, right? This is what we've seen from Games Workshop over the past couple of editions, is that they just come out with a chopping block of getting rid of things. We've just had it now with Middle-earth battle games. I'm seeing a lot of talk about that. There's a lot of characters, there's a lot of armies that have just been on the chopping block with that. I say chopping block, they've gone to Legends, but my argument with Legends is that Legends is a place where stuff goes to die. It's where Games Workshop just puts it on the shelf, and 9 times out of 10, they never normally update the rules, and it's just left there, really, and it's given no more love, and eventually it's faded out over the last couple of years, and that's it. It's completely gone then. But that is another story for another time. Basically, what I'm going to get to in this video, people have been sending me a lot of questions about what's happening with Gabriel Seth, characters like Lysander, and I just want to say, I think there's still hope. I don't think you should be worried as you should be just yet. Let's just get to the end of this edition, and then we can start the big topic of when are we going to see a brand new Gabriel Seth? When are we going to see a brand new Lysander, Pedro Cantor, etc., etc.? That is when I think we should start talking. But for now, I think it's just right just to look at it, right? Just to stare at it, just to let Games Workshop know that we are watching them. Thanks for coming. Thanks for watching. What a bizarre video it is today. By the way, I matched my t-shirt with the Flesh Tearers. Did I do right? I'm not too sure, right? I want to say blood for the blood god, but that would be wrong for the Flesh Tearers. Actually, it would be right for the Flesh Tearers, because they are very brutal. They literally are a loyalist World Eater force. Maybe I should start Flesh Tearers. That would be a really good idea. Stop the waffling, Valrak. Thanks for coming. Thanks for watching. See you in a bit. Have a great day, and bye-bye.